All right, this is my 5 reasons why The Witcher Netflix series sucks. All right, number one is world building. We have no sense of this world. It is hard to tell where each location is set physically. For example, while watching Game of Thrones, you could always tell where each scene takes place, whether it be at King's Landing or Winterfell. No sense of the economy or what a regular person's day-to-day life is in this fantasy realm. Like, what is the driving force of these people? What makes their life important? Especially for those who are not important to, like rulers and monarchs. Like, what is the driving force for everyday peasants in this world of The Witcher? All right. Number two is the fantasy elements of the show is not strong enough. Not strong enough. Like, I loved Game of Thrones, but honestly, the fantasy elements were not strong enough in that show at all to me. Like, I watch a fantasy show to see fantasy elements. I don't watch a fantasy show just to see people with swords and shit. I mean, excuse me, just slinging swords around and everything. It was cool to see dragons, and ice zombies, but I felt the fantasy elements in Game of Thrones was not strong enough. When Netflix announced The Witcher, I was very excited because The Witcher was a world, a realm with so much more fantasy elements than Game of Thrones. In the realm of The Witcher, there's so many monsters, there's so many cool monsters and different uses of magic. It's just way more fantastical than Game of Thrones world. The Game of Thrones world. The world of The Witcher is way more insane, like so much more awesome to me. And I don't think the show has really captured that at all. Like, it should have been a monster of the week type of show, but instead it seems like Game of Thrones, or Netflix wants to copy Game of Thrones, which you can't treat The Witcher like Game of Thrones. Which that brings me to my next point. Reason number 3. The Witcher show is not about The Witcher. The biggest mistake Netflix made, like I said, is that they're trying to treat The Witcher like Game of Thrones. It's not the same, guys. You don't understand. The Witcher is nothing like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is awesome because all of its characters and the world that it's set up. The Witcher is awesome because of Geralt. The Witcher is in the title of your show, guys. Like, how do you mess this up, Netflix? How do you mess this up? Witcher books are just more focused around the character of Geralt and his driving story. And, Yennefer and Ciri, all those other characters kind of revolve around Geralt. Yennefer is his true love, Ciri is his daughter, and, that's it. It's always been about Geralt. He's the driving force of the story. That's the way it should have been. And that's why Henry Cavill, he was like, peace, I'm out. And, okay, reason number 4. The Witcher is a show that is not about destiny, but it's about rather people finding each other despite destiny. So the writers don't understand the meaning of the show. They don't understand the meaning of the story. They don't understand the driving force of Geralt of Rivia. You see, Geralt is a simple man. The man is a witcher. He kills monsters for a living, for money. That's it. Like, how did I understand that's his living? Like, before he met Yennefer, before Ciri, that's all he was. Before Dandelion, and I don't care, they can call him Yaskier all they want. Dandelion is his name. Dandelion is his name. I don't care what they say. Dandelion brings out Geralt's sort of dry humor and charm. Because Geralt is not used to being around somebody like Dandelion, who's sharp-tongued and who's just very interested in Geralt. Because Dandelion kind of sees something special in Geralt that Geralt doesn't really see in himself. and they kind of forge this kind of unique friendship. You know, there's same with Ciri and Yennefer. Ciri is his daughter, so she brings out the fatherly elements out of Geralt. Kind of makes him to a father figure, and Yennefer is his true love, of course. So it kind of just, the story of The Witcher, the meaning of The Witcher is kind of like the character arc of Geralt, how he became more of a father figure and more of a husband, more of a friend to all these people around him, like Dandelion, Yennefer, and Ciri. And I'll go to my last reason why the show sucks. The writing is complete garbage. The writing is bad. It is bad, guys. The writing is pretty bad. All we had to do is copy the books. But instead, the writers, they think they know better than the original writer of the books. The first episode of season 2 was great, but it was only great because it copied the book. It copied the source material. Like, it copied from my favorite story in The Last Wish, when Geralt met Nevelyn, you know. In the book, Ciri wasn't even there, so it was kind of weird to see Ciri in the show with Nevelyn, but, you know, regardless, it was pretty good. It was a great episode. I think the best episode in season 2, for sure. But the rest of season 2 sucked ass. I mean, excuse me, but it really sucked. It sucks really bad, because they didn't follow the book very well. It seemed like the writers just make up their own crap as they go along. They don't care about the books. That's evident. That's why Henry Cavill left, because he's like, peace out, guys. Because he cares about the source material, but they don't. So he's like, I'm out. So now without him, I'm just done with The Witcher. I have not watched season 3 yet, and I probably never will. I read some of the reviews for it, and it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look good, guys. It doesn't look good. People were pretty much crapping on this show. On IMDb, they were crapping hard on this show. On season 3, they were crapping hard on it. But, you know, you think it's bad now, and just wait till season 4. It's going to be even worse. It's going to be a nosedive in quality, especially with Liam Hemsworth playing Geralt with his wooden acting. It's going to be great. But anyways, that's all for today, guys. And I wish you the best. Love you. And I'll see you next time.